Hey everybody, this is going to be a video on creating a secure database, a MySQL database. And we're in cPanel, so everything's pretty easy when using cPanel. If you're using some kind of other, maybe a custom hosting control panel, just look around and you should find some kind of database tools that will allow you to create a database and a database user, and then link the user to the database. And of course, if you have shell access and you can access MySQL that way, then you can do that. I know that that's a little more complicated, but like there's a few ways you could do it. So we're in cPanel right now, the cPanel backend interface, and it is extremely easy to create a database through here. We can use, if we go down here and under databases, you can see we have a MySQL database wizard, and this will actually just take us through. We need to create a database, and most cPanel web hosts will attach the username for the server as a prefix to the database and the database user. And mine is TechGuy4, so my database will be TechGuy4 / and then whatever I want to put here. I'm going to use the name WP234. That's going to be my database name. For the user, I'll say WP owner. And this is what's important, is the password. You want something really secure. I'd suggest using this generator. It'll generate a nice secure password. Copy it. I'm going to paste it in a file. And I've said this before, depending on the location of your machine or your machines that you use, you might want to put all your passwords into a file. If you're using a computer that's at your house with your family, obviously that's a good environment where you could actually do this. If you're in say an office environment and you want to do this, you may want to encrypt the files so people can't read them. I'm just going to click, I've copied it, and then use password and create user. Now for this user, we want to create some privileges. This is going to be the main user, so he's going to have all privileges. And if we create new users, they should have only privileges that they need. But I like to have one main user that can do everything. Alright, so next step, and now it says user WP owner has been added to the database WP34. And again, the TechGuy4 is just my username that they tag on to as a prefix. So we do have to use this entire thing as opposed to just using this part. Okay, so we've done it. We've created a database with a user. If we go to MySQL databases, we should see that right here, and then the users are right here. Now we could also add someone else as well. So let's add, let's see, let's create a new user. So we'll just call this guy new user. Password, I'm actually going to delete him, so this doesn't really matter. Just showing you how to do it. Okay, so now we have a new user, but this user has no access to any databases yet. What we need to do is, if we want to add him to our database, we want to come down here and choose new user, and then choose our database WP234 and click add. And we only want to give him permissions that we think he needs. Maybe he can create, not delete or execute. He can insert, show view, update, select, and that's pretty much it. We don't want him altering tables, things like that, deleting tables and fields. So that looks good. So we can say make changes. And now if we scroll down, you can see we have two users for this database. I'm actually going to delete him. I just wanted to show you how to do that. And what else? Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about phpMyAdmin. So down here in the databases section, phpMyAdmin, and you need to log in with your credentials, what we just created. So we have WP. Actually, I can't remember what it was. The user is WP owner, and we do need that prefix. So WP owner, and then that password that we generated. So now we can log into phpMyAdmin, and over here you can see our database. You can disregard this information schema. This is our database right here. If I click on it, there's no table found in the database. That's because we're using this to install WordPress, which we haven't done yet. Once we go to install WordPress, it'll create all the tables that we need. And we can do different things. We can run SQL commands. We can run queries. We can export the entire database. I guess there's no tables found, so we can't do that. Import, we can import files. Just upload the SQL file. Operations, we can rename the database, create tables. And this is because I'm logged in as a full user. I have full access. If the other guy logged in, he wouldn't get all these options. So it's good just to give people the options that they absolutely need, and have one account that has all privileges, just in case someone gets locked out or something like that. Alright, so that's really it. We have a database ready to install WordPress on, which we'll be getting into in the next section, and we'll install it, and we'll also go over some of the security precautions that we can take to just make it a safer site and a safer install.